Hi again, everybody. Welcome to my latest video. Well, in this one I am going to do a full comparison between the three 3000 series cards that I have. As you may recall, in my Micro Center visits I was fortunate enough to buy these three cards. The first one being the EVGA RTX 3080, and that's the one that went into my high-end AMD PC. So you've seen the test results for that one already. I also have the ASUS RTX 3070 KO model. That we have not tested. Matter of fact, that one we have not even opened up the box yet for. So I'm going to do that one in this video as well. And then finally, the third one that I have is this ASUS RTX 3060 Ti. Now this happens to be the ROG STRIX version, and I did open the package and show you some of the features on the board, but I did not put it into a computer and test it. So in this video, I'm going to test both of these cards, and I'm going to add it to the results that I did for this card. By the way, I went ahead and double checked all those tests that I ran last time, just to make sure that it hasn't changed since I last tested it, and it was exactly the same, pretty much, plus or minus about 2%, which is well within the expected error. So now I'm going to do the same thing for both of these, and we're going to compare the results. And I'm going to show the installation first of the 3070 into that same PC, replacing the 3080, and then in the final step, putting this 3060 Ti in place of the 3070. So that's a progression that we're going to do in this video. So if you get anything out of this video that you find useful or that you like in any way, if you could at least consider subscribing to my channel, it would be very helpful. That way I can continue to do videos like this going forward. And there'll be future comparisons of different types of equipment, maybe with some of these cards. Okay, here's the GPU in all its glory. Got my handy dandy Swiss Army knife, of course. Let me see. I think I just got this one little tab here that I got to remove. Yeah, there we go. Okay, a nice inner box here, all black. It's got one of the advanced ASUS logos on it. It says KO in there. Let's open this thing up. Okay. Packing steps on packing steps. Let me take this out of here. Okay, unpacking steps. Let's see what it says here. It says I gotta lift up the edge and then lift up the center. And then it should free up the board. Let me see about that. Like this. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Looks like it freed it up. But I never saw something like this before. Let me see if I can get this out of here. It's got repacking steps too over here, it looks like. A few more pieces of box here. And here it is. Dual fan. Let me see, when I was reading online it said, and sure enough, there it is. It has actually a performance and a quiet mode, P and Q. So there's a little switch here. Looks like it's right now in the P mode, but I'll wind up trying the other way too and see what happens when I put it in and try it. Standard PCI land protector, that's good. According to what I read online about this, it's supposed to have a reduced size hubs on these fans to allow for increased airflow for the cooler. I think it does have that. Fans I've never seen before. A lot of blades, reduced size hub. I think that's about it. I don't see any of the special features that I saw on the ROG 3060 Ti, the ones that allow you to connect case fans to it. I didn't see that noted online either. I like the fact that this one actually has not just 3 DisplayPort connectors, but it also has 2 HDMI connectors. So we can actually put a lot of monitors on this one. So I like the fact that that capability is there. Whether I'll use that many is not likely, but I could use 4. my 3 primary ones, and then sometimes I may decide to add a 4th one for a special situation. So I think this is it. So what I'll do next is I'll put this in to that PC, replacing the 3080 that I have in there now, and I'll rerun all the tests. So now let me remove the 3080 card from here. I'll start with pulling off the 2 power connectors. And then I'm going to use a ratcheting Phillips head screwdriver to undo the bracket that I had installed last time, speeding things up a little bit here. Okay, so now I'm done with that. Now let me remove the 2 screws that are holding it to the case in the back. And now I'll use 2 hands to pull it out. Be careful as I pull it out as well. This thing is a little bit on the heavy side. And there it goes, it's out. Now I've got the 3070. Take off the LAN protector. I think that's it. Should fit right in the same spot. There you go. Put the 2 thumb screws back on. Just need 1 for now. Put the power connectors on. Whoop, they have to be flipped. A little bit tricky, but finally took care of it. Okay, let's power this thing on and see what we got. Powered on, pairing on. I'm going to go into the BIOS first, see what it says. Okay, there we go. Let's see, at least we see something, which is good. Well, nothing's broke. I don't want to go into the submenus right now, but we'll go in and take a look at CPU Z and find out what it thinks we have in here. Exit, save, it's okay. Well, we're up. Let's see, what does the RGB show? So if you come down in here and see what I mean, we have the KO card in there right now. And as you can see, it's taken the default colors of the motherboard at this point. So the RGB is not synced up with the rest of it, but that's easy to fix. Okay, let's log in and see what it looks like. Let me go to Tools, CPU Z, and what do we got here? Memory is still the same, 32 gigabytes, main board's the same. Let's see the graphics. Now it says NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070. Okay, so it sees it. I do have the latest drivers in here. It should just take off. So now let me try something like Heaven and see if it'll come up. Right, Heaven comes up. So at this point, I'll go ahead and do all of the benchmarks again and see what happens. Okay, let's get this 3070 out and swap in the 3060 Ti. Oh, that was easy. Now, here's my 3060 Ti ROG STRIX. Now, one thing though is this is the longest card I have of the 3000 series. So I had to remove that white panel entirely. It would not fit at all if I had done it the other way. This is just too long. Okay, so you'll see what I mean when I put it in here. Look how long that dude is. Oh my gosh. It is by far the longest one I got. Okay, so it looks like we're down in place. Let me put these screws back in. Okay, that's not going anywhere. Which way are the clips on that side again? Just like the 3070. Sort of makes sense, I guess. I'll try putting in this one first. Well, that went in really easy. The second one's always the hardest. There we go. She's in. Let me come around the front and turn it on and see what happens. Okay, let's power it on. Whoop, we post, and it's booting into Windows. That's a good sign. It looks like the Armory Gate colors, RGB, is all out of whack though. So I'll have to go in and try to reset those. Okay, it booted up. Let me open up Armory Gate real fast and see if it at least sees the card. It does see the card. The ROG STRIX RTX 3060. And it's selected. Let me go into Aurora Effects. Oh, now all the colors are synced. It went back to the color that I had synced on it. So all I had to do is open up Armory Gate and just set it up. And now it's including the 3060 Ti itself. The color's right there on the top. Memory, everything, front fans, everything's going good. Let me open up CPU Z, see what it says. Okay, that hasn't changed. The memory, 32 gig is fine, and the graphics is now an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060 Ti. Okay, so we're looking good. Let me make sure that at least Heaven can start up. Loading up. And it is running. So let me go now and run all of the other benchmarks again, and that way I can have a nice comparison with the other 3000 series graphics cards. Now I'd like to show some performance charts that I created. Here is Crystal Diskmark. I did it, but there really wasn't any difference here. I didn't expect there to be any. Here also, Cinebench in a similar way. No real differences. Now we see a difference when we started talking about Heaven. In this one you can see a noticeable difference. And when I put the 3070 in Q mode, I got slightly different results. And here are the 3D Mark test results. Again, significant differences noted. And once again, when I put the 3070 in Q mode, we saw a difference as well. These next two tests were done as part of the 3D Mark test, and as you can see, the GPU and CPU temperatures did show a difference in certain areas. And when I put the 3070 in Q mode, a slight change as well. Now the utility power also changed. Again, this was noticeable. Now this result really surprised me when I put it in Q mode. The actual draw from the utility actually went up by 3 watts. And I tested it twice, so it was the same number each time, so I'm not sure what was going on with that. Well, that concludes this video where I compared the results of all 3 of my 3000 series cards that I bought over the past few months from Micro Center, as you may recall. Some of the results were surprising, don't you think? Even though I had the same system, same processor, same memory, everything else the same, the only thing I changed was from one card to the next. I was surprised by some of the results where what you would think is the lower end cards actually outperformed some of the higher end cards on only certain tests, of course. So with that in mind, I'm going to now move on and start reshuffling my PCs. Whereas the current backup PC is going to be rotated out, the new backup PC will be rotated in, and I'm also going to do a build of this main PC, my everyday driver, the one that I use for most of my editing for these videos. So hopefully you got something out of this video that you found useful or enjoyed in some way. And if you did, it would be very helpful if you could at least consider subscribing to my channel. That way you'll be able to see some of the new things that I'm going to be trying going forward. And some of them are quite interesting, including another server build. So anyway, until the next time, take care, stay safe, and stay healthy.